Sony hit with a French fine for allegedly manipulating PS4 controller market. France's antitrust regulator has handed Japanese tech giant Sony a fine for 13.5 million euros or $14 million after finding it used its dominant position to corner the market, specifically in the realm of third-party PS4 controller manufacturing. It said Sony implemented technical measures made it extremely hard for third-party controller manufacturers to compete. The body found that only the controllers that reliably worked on PS4 were Sony's DualShock 4 and other officially licensed controllers. Several issues, including frequent disconnections, plagued all others. Let's see. The authorities claim that Sony deliberately made guidelines for licensing controllers for their platform vague, leaving third-party manufacturers in the dark. The body slammed Sony for the lack of transparency in their licensing program, alleging it applied the criteria in a discretionary manner, even though access to the program was the only way to avoid disconnections. So basically what happened is, for people who are not getting it, they're saying Sony was not clear on how to build a good PS4 controller. So in exchange, third-party people like, like Mad Catz or whoever else, or what's that other one? Something Cons. Third-party controller maker. The other controllers at GameStop and on Amazon. They didn't know how to properly make one because there were no proper guidelines, which in turn made their controller superior by default. So what this authority is, what France's antitrust regulator is alleging is they did this shit on purpose to basically make everybody by default buy their controllers so they can corner the market and get all that money. Yeah, okay, that's a good way of putting it, Dre Humble. They sabotage the competition. Dash crazy. My thing is, like, why is all this news coming out for the PS4? Are they doing it for the PS5 is what I want to know. Sounds like some Apple shit. Shit is crazy, bruh. You live long enough to become the villain. I need other antitrust regulators to, like, what's going on with America and Canada and Mexico, like, I need some other big countries to see what's going on, doing their own separate investigations and see, is Sony fucking up the money for everybody else? Very interesting. The sequel to Lies of P will be powered by Unreal Engine 5. A recent job listing from game developer and publisher NeoWiz Games has revealed the studio's planned sequel for Lies of P, a 2023 Souls-like based on story of Pinocchio, will likely be powered by the Unreal Engine 5, so it's going to look a lot better. There are no third-party PS5 controllers licensed. Yeah, think about it. Yeah, I don't see a lot. So basically, the game is going to look good. It's just a job listing. I don't know why I saved this one. Wasn't Sony getting sued for the way they operate their PlayStation store? I don't know, but I know they recently got in trouble because they pulled a lot of content off of there without any type of heads up. Literally, just like the day of, they pulled a bunch of movies and TV shows people bought. That's why, like, physical, I don't think physical will ever 100% go out of style. Even vinyls are starting to come back, because people are starting to see the issue with license. Like, you don't own these digital products. You own the right to, like, license it or whatever, like, just like to play it. But if they want to pull it off the store and you never have access to it, you can never play it again. And then they wonder why people emulate stuff, man. Why they dump ISOs online, because y'all pulling these games offline. I'm in record heavy right now. See, look, that man collecting right now. Isn't Sony being investigated by Japanese executive exclusives? You mean executive? What? Lil Debbie ain't giving out her recipes. They're gonna sue her next. Wait, what? I feel like you're trying to make a joke, but that was a bad joke. What are you talking about, bro? I think you totally missed the point of the article. If you put out a controller and you're granting licensing rights to third-party people to create the same controller, you have to give proper instructions on how to build a quality controller so that they can compete with you. Otherwise, don't do it. Bringing up fucking cupcake recipes is random. What are you talking about, bro? Like, it's just yapping, bro. Like, hey, drop 5 cents in the chat to apologize, bro. Yeah, they pulled stuff from the store, all the media shows, etc. You brought was removed. Yeah, that's like, bro, maybe buying, because I thought for a while DVDs were gonna go out of style, but maybe Blu-rays are here to stay because people don't like that shit. Yeah, food is not tech. What are you talking about, dog? Star Wars Outlaws set to release late 2024. I said I think this game was going to come out in 2024 in my video. It looks like I was right. New Star Wars action game team, him from the team from Ubisoft made The Division, now has a narrow release window. A blog post from Disney outlining the company's plans for 2024 includes mentions of Outlaws and specifically a release date being later this year. Note, the blog post has since been amended to remove mention to specific release window for Outlaws. The blog post now only states that Outlaws is set to release in 2024. Well, you know, this AAA game is going to be there. That's good, I guess. Aquaman is on Netflix. Does anyone care? You talking about the second one? Already? What? That's one game. That's one game we can look forward to. Nah, I'm not about to give you my secret to make money, is what I was saying. Yeah, like I get what you're saying, but like the issue is, so like license. Do we know what licensing is? If Little Debbie sells a license to their formula, that means party X, Y, and Z has the right to reproduce what Little Debbie does, so long as they pay a fee to Little Debbie. That is what licensing is for the longest. The MCU could not have Spider-Man because Sony owned the licensing rights for movies to Spider-Man. Marvel sold those licensing rights to Sony back in the early 2000s because they were going to go bankrupt. So Marvel had to ask for permission, and they worked out a deal. You see what I'm saying? Like, you looking act kind of like DJ Academics? I really don't. Please stop. Little Debbie, y'all hungry? Yeah, what are you talking about? Little Debbie's just nasty ass cakes. Like, oh brother. So yeah, that's 2024. I understand I came in late. It's all good, bro. You know. What are we about to do? Let's go to other news. Let's see if we can find some other stuff. Google News, Feedly. Hello, my friend. Act like DJ Academics is crazy, bro. Just say you're racist. I wouldn't go as far as like call them racist, but like I don't see the correlation between me and him acting like I don't sit on the computer at 3 a.m. drinking Henny and shouting. And like I don't mean that as an insult. I just don't do that. Like I don't understand. I'm pretty laid back. Etho's been walking the streets of Detroit with no Beyblade. Shit is, yeah, and other things too. And other things. Please don't compare me to him. Okay, that's the Steamboat game he was talking about. Star Wars. Marvel was gonna go bankrupt. My bad. Just wanted to see if I heard that right. Yeah. In the early 2000s, you gotta keep in mind before the MCU existed. Marvel just had comic books, and they were about to go bankrupt because comic book sales started to decline. Comic book sales had a boost around the early to mid 90s, I believe, because of Wolverine and the X-Men. Like that gave a nice boost, but then like sales started to tank again by the time the 2000s came around. So in order to stay afloat and go bankrupt, Marvel sold the rights to their most popular character, Spider-Man, the movie rights to Sony to stay afloat. They gave them like a few $1 million. That's why they had to negotiate a deal to get Tom Holland. And like licensing works where like if you create a product, like let's say you create like a superhero, right? This is like business 101, so you're aware of this stuff. If you want to write manga or like comic books, you want to have licensing rights for everything. So like, let's say you create the next Spider-Man, you want to have licensing rights for the movie, for the action figure, for the books. You want to break it down. You want to break it down into as many categories as you can, so you can get as many bags as you can, basically. What's crazy to think is that Sony only wanted Spider-Man. Marvel offered the entire MCU at first. That's the crazy part, but Sony didn't see the vision. And now, if you're like younger, you probably don't understand it. Like superhero movies were not a thing. Like when the original Spider-Man came out with Tobey Maguire, that shit was like a big fucking deal. Because it was like the first real good superhero movie since maybe like Tim Burton's Batman. But yeah, there was a world before the MCU, chat. There was a world before the MCU. Tekken 8's colorblind. Catwoman movies say the Catwoman. Oh my god. That's why we can't get any Hulk stuff. Yeah, that's the reason we don't have a Hulk movie. It's not just because the MCU lacks interest. From my understanding, I believe Universal owns the licensing rights to the Hulk's movies. They have some weird ass deal. I read about it like a month ago. So that's why the MCU can. Oh, okay, here it is. Here what it is. In order to use the name The Incredible Hulk, Universal has to produce the movie. But the MCU has the right to use the Hulk character so long as he's not the focus, if that makes sense. That's what I was reading. So that's why we haven't gotten a proper Hulk movie, and he's just like a side character in Thor and shit. But that's weird. Keep in mind, back then, when they sold the rights to Universal, Marvel was just trying to stay afloat. They was trying to pay them bills. They did what they had to do, and it came back to bite them in the long run. I think eventually they'll get Hulk back, but, you know, you got to do what you got to do to survive. You know, the thing about business is it's a roller coaster. You're going to have highs and you're going to have lows. And to be honest, in my opinion, what determines a successful business long-term is how you handle those lows. That's why you see a lot of content creators blow up. You see a lot of rappers blow up. And 2 years later, they never come back because, to be fair to them, nobody teaches you how to take you know how to take a loss on a smaller level, but an extreme loss, it can be hard to deal with for like a lot of people. Reinventing yourself can be hard for a lot of people. That's why when people come in the chat and I get like low key, not mad, but a little frustrated. Can you do a black guy kills? Bro, it's been 11 years. I reinvented myself. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that, chat. I'm on year 17. I haven't worked a regular job in 12 years. Year 17. Does anybody praise me for that? Is that commended? Hardly ever. People should be studying that shit. And you know what's funny, Chaos? I really am the LeBron of this shit, bruh. I really am. But does anybody praise that? No, do that shit from 11 years ago. If I was doing that shit from 11 years ago, nigga, I would have been quit. I would have been able to pay my fucking bills. But it's like, it's hard for somebody who doesn't have a vision to see it. Because first of all, it's not your vision. But most people, it's always the people who never amounted to anything trying to tell you how to use your platform and shit. I meant to tweet that out. Year 17. I gotta tweet that out. We're going for a 20-year run. But yeah, we on year 17. The old X-Men creeping into the MCU because of Disney. Yeah, they got the rights back. So I mean, the X-Men will eventually come. That's the reason the X-Men were never in the MCU. They didn't have the rights to this shit. Sony had the rights to X-Men. That's why the old if you go back and look at the old X-Men movies, those are all produced by Sony. Fuck, I feel old now. Oh, my bad. Yeah, Fox. My bad, Fox. Yeah, not Sony. Sony is Morbius, which is Apple TV's #1 ranked movie in 2022. Fun fact. I don't see any interesting news. We might. Oh no, let's get in the sub box. But they wasn't half bad. Yeah, the X-Men movies were better. Bum, 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 bum. Did anybody watch Echo yet? Bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. Banisher's official Ghost of New Eden official rituals trailer. What? It's not out yet. I thought it came out yet. Why am I seeing like reviews or something for it? Why it has to be out because somebody posted the whole Daredevil Echo fight on my timeline. It's not out. If not, a journalist is leaking that shit. I saw the whole fight on my timeline. Yeah, somebody's leaking that shit. You can find it if you want.